Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? Okay, so I've been doing the cardboard. I'm going to do 2 giveaways, and one, like I had said before, is going to be more of um, a regular kind of nice little cute little painting, whatever. And I'm going to do a little one, little darker one. So what I did was, this is the other cardboard that I had, and I had already laid down, a set of papers that I had done um, for a video, experimenting or showing something. And then what I did was I added the papers I did in making our own glazing medium and just a couple pieces of paper to kind of fill in a little bit more. I'm going to paint over all this because of kind of what I want to do. But the reason I did this is because it adds much more durability to the cardboard itself. So if you use cardboard, or if you get like a box, that you get, you can use a box you get in the mail. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be whatever size you want it to be. Or like I said, this is from my water bottles that I get, whatever they're called, when you get the individual bottles. But I mean, we get cardboard every day. You can use a canvas. You can use watercolor paper. You can use whatever you have. Mixed media paper, whatever. I like to build up a couple layers of paper that really have no significance to really what I'm doing. Just want to do this real quick. Grab my paper towel. I'm thinking about it. You can see, like on the one I did the other day in the other video, you can still, I wanted some of the background to come through, so I used the glazing medium that I had made a video on prior, because I wanted some of this to come through. I don't know what I want to happen to this yet. It's going to be a little bit darker, so I don't know if I want anything to show through or not, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's just start before I bore the crap out of you. I just took, regular white glue and glued these down. Still a little damp. I'm really not worried too much about it. I'm just going to take, because I want the background to be a darker shade, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt, that's blue. Well, I guess, this is my blue acrylic paint that I made, spray paint. And I'm going to spray it. I don't want it this color, but you'll see why in a minute. And I'm just really loading it up with water. And I'm going to take my black. And this is just folk art. I always buy these big and white and black colors that I use a lot of. And then I'm just going to take my brush. And I'm just going to kind of, because I want the black watered down. And I'm just going to go over everything. And if you notice that it's starting to get a little drier as you hit the middle, all you have to do is take your, here it is. I was like, where's my water bottle? I really got to do my water bottle today. And just do a little squirt in the middle where you see it's getting a little thicker. And then just keep bringing it down. And I know people, that's why I'm really not using fantastic, I'm using my papers that I made, but I really don't know how much of it I want to show through. I do know I want it to be very dark in the background, but I don't know how dark yet. So this can be a bit messy. So if you're doing it, and I'm just going to run back up, make sure everything's kind of covered. I have some papers hanging over the side that I'll have to cut when I'm done, when I glued it on. And I'm not worried about that. I don't get caught up in all that nonsense traditional stuff. So I'm going to throw that in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt a little bit of water. And then I'm going to take my paper towel. This is my paper towel that I saved from yesterday. And this is why. Because I'm going to set it down on here and just give it a push. Push it real good. I know. I do it all the time because that's the thing that goes through my head. Remember go dancing and when I was younger. Going out dancing and salt and pepper come on. And if you have it a little bit, you know, more where you want it to be blotted up, just blot it up. Ain't nothing but a thing. Now I'm going to let that dry for a second. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun. And you can see the great texture that comes from the paper towel. So that's always an added plus. But like I said, the paper, you know, whatever papers, whether you use paper towels if you don't have papers, whether you use printer paper, it can be completely white. It could be whatever you have, that if you want to build up a couple layers on your cardboard just to give it a little bit more stability, anything is good. Use your white glue, water it down a little bit, use it as your, you know, as your base with your cardboard. Even though the cardboard itself is, you know, strong, we're not going to glue big, heavy things on it. We're just really going to draw on it, paint on it. So it'll be able to hang. Or you can stand it up, whatever way you want to do it. So I want to dry these. And they should dry, it should dry fairly quickly because we did add water. And acrylic paint always dries quickly anyway. But I want it to kind of have, I can always add more color or more black when I'm done. And I have to decide, I just want to show you these things in stages so you guys can do this yourself and you can do whatever you want to do. Like I said, I practiced on, I did those glazing mediums on book text that I got from the dollar store. Do you know what I mean? And then I used it on here. Now look at some of this great texture from just pushing the paper towel down. You can see it here. And then you can see the, like the dots from the, and that's great texture. So I really like that. So that's where we're at now on this one. Now I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. I'm hoping that there's a little bit, it's a little bit still wet on my rag. Yeah. Because I want this dulled down a little bit more. And I'm just going to give it a rub. Like on my paper towel where I lift it up. And I'm just going to kind of dot over a little bit. Again, we can go over that at another time, but that was bothering me because I'm odd that way. So that's the next step on this. So this is where we're heading with this one. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. And then for this one, I'm deciding on whether I want to draw. I do it two ways. I either draw on the canvas itself, which this is my technically this is my canvas, or I draw in my mixed media, on my mixed media paper, watercolor paper, whatever. I draw on there first, and then kind of sketch it out as you've seen in many other videos, and then place it so I can have a better idea of where I want to place it. I can't quite decide what I want to do on here. If I want to do that or place it or what. So I think I'm gonna, this is a piece of watercolor paper that of course is gonna go blurry, and it's out of my, I'm just trying to figure out how big I want it because I want to kind of make it, that would probably be a good size. And I do this because sometimes I don't, it's going to sound odd, but I suggest this to people, you know, Plus, everybody who knows me knows I'm odd. I will sit. I have a journal upstairs that I had bought from. Actually, I bought it from with my hands from Barnes and Noble, and used a coupon when they had the sale. And it's like a sketch book type thing. And what I do is I have it upstairs, and I have my own pencil case and whatnot upstairs. And I'll sit and draw faces, because sometimes faces come to me, or I have an idea or whatever. So I think for this one, because I'm not real sure of where I want the placement, and that's a big thing. If you're doing this and you're like, you know what, I want it to be placed, I know that I want my face here, then by all means, paint it on, draw it on. You know, I've done that a million times. If you're not sure, because there's so many great pieces on here of interest that I really love, that I don't know. Maybe I don't want it to face this way. Maybe I want to face it this way. I don't know. So I think because of that, I'm going to draw on a piece of paper separately, if that makes sense. Because then I can draw it, I can cut it out, and then I can kind of play where I want to put that. And actually, I learned that from Susie Blue. Years and years ago. She saved my life with that. Because I would do these paintings, and I mean, I've been following Susie for, I don't know, as long, but when she was doing YouTube videos, she's a Jersey girl too, and you know, awesome. I get her sense of teaching, and I love her. But she first introduced me. I don't know what her techniques are now. Her art has evolved also, and she's having another class coming up, but she's doing all kinds of cool things. But years ago, I learned the technique of drawing on your paper and then cutting it out. And I even myself, and I honestly, I can't recall whether she did it or not. I will also sometimes take my watercolor pencils and kind of color in, so I get an idea of what I want. And then when I place it on my canvas, I kind of know where I'm heading with it, if that makes sense. If I like the hair color, if I don't, if I should change it, that kind of thing. So I'm going to quit boring you right now. Like I always tell you, find something that you have that is straight edge. So I have this book sitting here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my book down. And we all know I'm not an even person. I'm quite crooked. But it's going to give me my line. And that'll be my eye line. And then I'm going to go down about an inch or so. And do my other eye line. And then I'm going to go down a little bit more. And I'm not measuring, so please understand that. Maybe if I move the camera down a little bit, let me try. Maybe today I should clean my art room. What do you think? What a concept. Then what I advise to do is find the middle of where, and you can fold your paper in half if you want to make it a little bit easier. I know I've shown this a million times how to do faces, and but I'm getting so many new subs, and it's so hard. I have 40 some videos. I don't know what I have, 550 videos. So it's hard for new people to come on and sit and go through. Who has the time to go through all these videos? So you kind of have the general idea of where the middle is. So when you go down to do your nose, try to make it as, straight as you can. If you have a ruler, use a ruler. If you're meticulous, then please, by all means, measure. Do you know what I'm saying? We just want that line so we know where the basic middle is. And then you just go down a little bit more. And you can go back. And that's going to be like where our mouth is. So as you can see, put that right there. When I turn it this way, and if we clear up, yep, you can kind of see the generalization of the eyes, the nose, the mouth. So I'm going to very quickly turn my camera and try to do this as easy as I can. Now these lines obviously are a bit small, a bit long for the nose. We know the middle line. Where we folded it is where the middle of your nose, you want that to be. So right now I'm going to start with that. And you see right here is your middle, like where we folded. Okay. So what we're going to do is do an even kind of thing, right? Like this. So it's kind of even on both sides when you draw it. See where the fold is. And that's just going to stay like that for now. Now, for the eyes. Now, this might be a little bit big for an eye. So if you look at it, and, you know, like I said, I wasn't measuring, my bad. If you look at it and you say, you know what, that's kind of too big of an eye that I want, which I would probably go with that. But if, you know, you're starting out, you're drawing, the whole point is to make it your own. There are a gazillion ways to draw faces. Now watch, I'll draw the line in the same place. Because that's just how it is. Okay, so, that looks even to me. I don't know. Just going to do a light line there. So, you could go with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Go with it. Do what you want. It's yours. Now, generally, eyes are the same length apart. You can learn that in any book. I've shown the books that I have. I have like 4 drawing and painting books that I have bought. The real thick books I got from a store called Borders when they were here. And it tells you all the general ideas and general things to draw. So usually it's like an eye length between. So if your eye over here is, let's just say, I don't know, an inch, then you would have an inch in the middle and then start your other eye over here an inch. But I tend not to really follow that to the T because, you know, I have my own kind of style kind of thing. So, you know, I don't know. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to pretend, or you can draw in halfway through, a real light line. Okay, can you see that? Because when you go to do your eye, and this over here is just extra. Again, you can erase it if it bothers you or it kind of throws you off. It doesn't matter. And I'm a mechanical pencil whore. I buy these. I just buy these all the time. I use these all the time. I have tons of drawing pencils and everything, and I just love me some mechanical pencils. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, so here we go. So you see we have our middle line right here. And what I'm going to do is take this corner. Just going to start here. I'm going to take it up to that top line and down. And for those of you who follow me, you know, this is how I do it. Then I'm going to do a general eye to see like, oh, how far it would be. I don't really care if you know, they're as far apart as they should be or not. You can make them further apart. You can make them closer. You can do whatever you want. I see right here on this one, I have a little bit of a dome going there. Which I love that Stephen King show that they just put on, even though it's nothing like the book. But you can do, you know, you can match it up a little bit more if you want. I'm not going to be worrying about it right now because I'll be playing with this more when I'm done. And then you just take from corner. Always make sure your corners are like you have a corner on each. And then just bring it down to the bottom and bring it up to the corner. And again, we can go back and fix these when we're done. But you just want them corners to meet and you want it to hit the bottom of the line. Now I see this one's not as wide. And as we all know, I get a little obsessive because I'm obsessive. And I'm just going to and again, I'll play and fix that later. I'm just trying to get the general thing. I can see as I look, and it's, you know, it's good to hold it away from you so you can kind of see. But you can see kind of that the eyes, if it clears up, you know, are a little bit off because of the shape. Am I concerned with that? No, because I can go back once I get everything in there, look at the eyes, and then fix it. Also, our eyes aren't always the same, you know. It might be easier for me here to just kind of fix this and make it more dome-like. Do you know what I mean? And then this goes out a little bit further than maybe it should. So there's many little tricks and tips to fix it. You'll know as you go to do it how to fix it. You know what I mean? So now we're going to do the nose. Now I want to decide, do I want this to be a cutesy face or a real face? If we want it to be more of a realistic face, you want the nose to be far down like this. I'm sitting here thinking, I think I might make this a cutesy face. So I'm going to bring my nose up to here. Okay? And then I'm going to take my little lips off. And then bring my lips up. My lips will actually kind of go where my nose was originally, if that makes sense. So here we got our little face. Now for her nose, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a cute little button nose. Who doesn't love a cute little button nose? And then her lips, you know, we got our main line there, so we kind of know where we're going. I'm going to bring it up. And I'll also play with the lips when I get to around to the painting of her. But just to give you an idea. And then we got that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to draw. Let's see if you guys can see. I'm going to draw her little face. And I'm going to keep her chin close to her lips. And I go back a few times because I'll be erasing and I'll be playing around and everything else. And then we got her little face. So then I'm going to go in for the eyes. First thing I'm going to do is start, excuse me, at the corner of this eye. And I'm going to take it all the way over to this corner. And give her an eyelid. And I'm going to do the same thing over here to the corner. Again, sketch lightly so you can erase, but you get the general idea. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase these lines in the inside. And I'm going to do, if you have your circle template that I've shown you, and if I could find mine under my pile of junk over here, I would be using it, but I don't have it. So if you don't, just judge it. Give her the eyeballs. Again, when you go back in, you can always change it if they're not matching or whatever. And you're going to erase. Erasing is normal. But just get a general idea of where her little eyes are going to be. And then do her little pupils. Now I can see here, and this helps me a lot, is this is much longer than this over here from where her eyeball is. So of course I would go back in. I'd erase that. And I'd take this down here. And just kind of move that. And then I'll play with that more. It needs a little bit more of a angle to it. And like I said, drawing is not something that takes 2 seconds. It does take a few minutes. So now we'll put her pupil in. Okay. And we have our little girl. You'll go in. Where's my big eraser? And you'll erase your lines. And think about what kind of hair do you want her to have. And I don't know yet. And then you can go back in and lightly erase where you drew so you can kind of get a better idea of how you want her face to be shaped. And go back and kind of go over it again. Because we'll be erasing those again. And here we go. And that's a little face. So I will be doing something with this, adding it onto the pink one, and then doing something onto the dark one. I don't know if I'll draw what I'm going to draw on the dark one on camera or not. I have a couple clay videos and stuff I'm going to be doing, but who knows? We shall see. So I hope you all have a great day, and I hope that you guys create and have fun while you do it. And remember to be kind to each other, because you never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And thank you so much for all your support. So have a great day. I hope that you learned something from this, and you sit and you draw your own faces and play. And depending on, like I said, where I'm at, maybe I'll show you as I construct this on the good piece, on the nicer piece, and how I do it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Please do me a favor, share my video, and if you're watching and you're not subbed, please sub. I appreciate it greatly. I have a contest going on. It's a few videos back. Make sure you check it out. Leave a comment to see, to see if your name gets picked. And I have quite a few contests coming up within the next month or two. And good luck to y'all. So thank you. Bye.